Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
All right, everybody, welcome to the semi-final of the Saville Shootout. My name is Matt Hames. I'm joined here with Sean Joyce, and we're underway here in our feature game, Ueno and Yamaguchi versus Thiesse and Dropkin. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Had a chance to see Thiesse and Dropkin win their semifinal match or quarterfinal matchup to move into this semifinal, and I saw the Japanese pairing earlier. So this shapes up to be a very good game. Both of these teams have been playing very well from what I've seen of them, and the ice certainly helps them play all the shots that you want to see in doubles play. There's a good example of it here. Look at how far that one got by the guard, and it's going to end up locked on that stone at the back of the button. You can make everything on this ice.
You can make everything, which is great because it's going to require everything. He's playing. He's running this guard back early on.
Yeah, they do have last rock here in the opening end of play, and I think that's by virtue of, I double-checked the standings, but I think they had 4-0 through the round-robin play, and Ueno and Yamaguchi, I believe, were 3-1, so they shouldn't have had to draw to the button. It should have been based on their record coming in.
You just have to have a lot of confidence in your ability to make contact with any one of these rocks in the back because you don't have a lot of time in mixed doubles to play these run backs. If you miss it, it can cause some trouble in the end, but he's not going to miss it. It's an excellent shot right there.
Manages to leave both reds hanging on at the back of the 12-foot too, and that's important because as you clean things up, doubles play, if you blank the end, you lose the hammer. If that rolls out, there's a chance that Yamaguchi just hits the open red stone and says, well, you're going to be forced here anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting here because they can't really hit the back one, so they have to try to throw this come around, and there aren't too many good spots to put this rock. They're thinking about it as they kind of think this through, like they can't hit the one on the left, so maybe they just hit the one on the right here. There are precious few places where you could make this out turn come around and have it be good for you.
Yeah, it's awful hard to not leave a double on this ice.
Yeah. So they switched up here and they're going for nose the back one, which will be third shot.
Yeah, but they can't make a hit and roll off the shot stone right now, or they jam it on their own.
Yep. I like this call because this call forces the Dropkin team to make another call.
It's same trouble for the Coreys. Let's call them that. We called them that a few times in the last draw. Same problem for them. If they come around, they've got to be careful not to leave, because the in-off from the yellow is going to jam the back red
goes
too.
on the back of the red.
Yeah. So you really have to be a little bit careful with where you put this. You either want it high in the 8 foot where it's not going to be shot rock right away, or well back in the 4 foot where it's going to leave the freeze opportunity.
And it can't really be T-line, because then they just kind of freeze on top of it, and then you're in. It's determining rock placement in this is so critical. Corey's the last rock in the the second rock. It's going back 8, it sounds like. They're not touching it at all. Got by the guard by a couple of rocks.
Once you realize it was going to be too far back to be shot rock, take it as far back as you can, because there's a freeze probably coming here.
Yeah. Not bad. Not a bad spot.
It's not making it any easier to get that yellow one out later if you want to try to bring those two reds back into the scoring area. You still probably have to come down to, well, he's looking at top 8. You got to be careful with this.
I think you either have to be right where her broom is or back. Like if you get it to the back 8 foot, I think you're going to be okay.
But with anything exposed, it's going to have to be on the broom side. And we've seen lots of rocks over curl on this ice. If you leave them a sliver on the other side, even a rock in the top 8 foot would leave them a double opportunity.
Yeah. So basically he's drawing the button here, because it needs to be top 8 foot, second shot. Not a lot of rim there for that. Got a ton of ice. Got a little bit more ice than they've been taking. They would even be okay with this being a tiny bit open on the side.
Yeah. Line looks
trying to make
nice.
it curl now. Yeah, the line looks great. Looks a little heavy.
Yeah, it needs it to stop, but it's not going to. So now they're going to take it deeper.
Now they're no man's land. Yeah.
Well, it's a thin double, but it's a double.
It's very thin. It's almost missed the rock thin.
There might not be a hole there, though.
Yeah.
If there is, there's just barely.
Yeah. Just play this with the intern. I don't think, even though the ice is really tight, I don't think he's throwing this really, really hard.
No, probably not.
I would imagine that this is just like a control weight kind of a thing. Last rock of the first stand. Trying to hit thin on this top yellow and come over and make the double. Nice quiet weight. Jump up. Trying to make it curl right now. Trying to keep it straight now.
If you're sliver thick on the first one, you might spin over the top, which is actually better. That's a great result, because now they got nothing to freeze to.
Yeah, you kind of got a corner freeze to the back one as we watch this again.
Or
starts trying to make it curl, and now he's keeping it straight. Ends up hitting it just about in the perfect spot. Gets over the back one,
and by spinning out of the way there's nothing in the middle that they can freeze to where they'd be frozen behind cover, really. I almost think you have to play the double at the back and try to hold them to 2. And the double's no gimme either, because you got to be fairly thick on the first one to get to the top of the second one. Otherwise, it's jamming.
It looks like, based on this ice, that the call is actually a hit and roll.
Could be.
So I think this is going to be like a quietish weight hit and roll here.
Boy, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because it's a flat roll to get on top of that, which is hard to do with quiet weight. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of ice for there's no real double because the double jams, right?
Well, that's why I'm saying if you're going to play the double, you've got to hit the first one thick, get to the top edge of the second one so that you can push it back more. Either way, even to make the roll, it's flat. Like, it's hard to make this with quiet weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be too thin.
Yeah, it's a nose hit for 3 here in the first end for the Coreys.
Yeah, to make the double there, you had to throw more weight so that you could hit the first one thicker.
Yeah, yeah.
If you were just going to play a hit and roll, you could have played the one in the 12-foot up in front of the tee line.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
There's a lot of rocks to roll in front of.
Yeah, just hit and roll all the way over.
I thought they were playing the double, but I think you had to throw it with more weight.
I agree. I think that they were playing the double to kind of roll up above it. I don't know. They were sweeping it to stop it from curling.
Yeah.
Though, so
yeah, she needed to hit it thicker for sure.
Yeah. Last rock of the first end here. Hit for 3. Going hard to keep it straight. And it's pretty good. That's 3 in the first end for the Coreys. And we'll be back right after these messages for the second end.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the semifinal of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic with Thiesse and Dropkin versus Ueno and Yamaguchi. Ueno and Yamaguchi have hammer here, down 3-0. My name is Matt Hames, and I'm joined by my co-commentator, Sean Joyce. Sean, what did you think of that last end?
Well, anytime you can put up 3 in any format in the opening end, it's a good start. Thiesse and Dropkin had a good end. A nice shot by, it was actually what set it up, was the double by Dropkin on his last, and kind of a bonus. I don't know if they were planning it all the way, but to spin out of the way like that, it really didn't leave much for Ueno with her last one. It was going to be a tough double, tough hit and roll, no matter how she did it. Ends up over curling, jams, and it's a nose hit for 3.
Trying to get a piece of this and move it, and don't hit enough. just leaving a massive, like there's oftentimes in mixed doubles, you see this massive pocket in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's always to the advantage of the team without last rock, because you get
Yeah.
anything in front of there, even if it's back, it's real tough to create some scoring area. The upside, I guess.
Corey just yelled down to other Corey, we're red.
Yeah, this is not the time when you want to be switching colors. You're sitting pretty good with red right now.
Yeah, red's looking good.
Yeah. There was one of the timeouts in the semifinal, and it was probably the other team, and they called their coach out, and I suggested, well, when the coach comes out and you ask him what he likes, he'd like to be throwing red.
Yeah, absolutely. So the call here was to actually freeze into the pocket. It's not the worst thing in the world either to just be T-line.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, T-line deadlined up to the yellow in the middle, and then it's real tough to get this red out, even without the guard being there, but the guard complicates matters for sure. Right
Basically
there. You need 2 shots to get that red out of there, and you can't see it to make the first one.
Yeah, they gotta move this back yellow a bit.
Yeah, they need to create.
So they're gonna have to try to throw it. They're gonna have to try to throw a back line.
Just freeze to that red, and it's real tough to get to.
Yeah. Tightening up the ice a little bit. It still looks like plenty.
It depends on the weight he's planning to play, but I mean, you're moving 2 rocks, and if you're going to move that back yellow far enough to have a way to get the red out, it's got to move more than the rock's width. It's going to have to move at least 2 feet.
Yep.
You need, with 2 rocks to move at 2 feet, you're going to need at least back line here.
Well, he tightened up the ice a bit from the hack. So let's see whether the weight is close. You want to really get as close to this guard as you possibly can. The guard, nice. Sweeping it for weight now. Pretty good. Got a little unlucky with the way that those lined up.
Yeah, probably the best he could do, though, I think.
Yep, definitely. They're just going to come down with this outturn and freeze on this outturn. Just again, they can come down and tap it a couple of inches and release it off that back red. It's pretty good. Is there a possible danger here of just releasing it a little bit too far?
Maybe. He may not even be worried about moving it. They're playing the outturn at this. If you just corner freeze it, split the center line, cornered on the yellow for now.
Yeah. That's the call. He indicated a little tap was the okay tolerance. I think he's just trying to say to himself, don't be light here. Get down to the rock. Really, it's out there like it's a little heavy.
Ton of room. There it goes.
Yeah, here it comes. Still bouncing a bit.
Yeah, it's still heavy.
This is one of those shots, Sean, where you're not sure, is that good or bad? I mean, it's not great, obviously, but it's really bad.
I'm sure it's bad. Yeah. Yamaguchi freezes the pocket. He's in pretty good shape to get at least 2. They're thinking about more than that now.
Well, yeah, I think what you do is you freeze to your own top one, dead on the nose.
There's an argument to be made to freezing on the corner of the red too, because they can come off the row and sit in the pocket.
Yeah, I listen to that as well.
Yeah. Well, and the argument for that is get there first. then
if you get into that pocket, doesn't the yellow go? Like if you just smash it, doesn't the yellow go?
Maybe, but you got to be real careful. How many reds are you going to lose if you do that?
Right, yeah. No, that's fair.
Because there's still some yellows hanging around back there.
He's taken more ice than he was on the last one, so it looks like he's freezing to the nose here. I'm not sure whether or not I win anything, but he's playing the shot I like. I don't dislike the shot into that pocket either with the out turn. He just played this.
Yeah, I might like to get to the inside of the yellow if I was.
Ooh, this is curling like it's light. This is gonna overband a little bit on him.
Well, it's still pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah. Is there room? There's no room to get there with an in-turn. Kind of took away he's looking at it though. I think that's all.
There's room to get there with an in-turn, but it's not without risk, boy. If you bounce off at all.
Yeah, if you take off that top one. Oof. That's what he's playing. He's playing the in-turn freeze.
Well, if he bounces off the back one, even if he rolls open a little bit, he could leave a quad on the red.
Yeah,
the yellow in the middle, right? This is one where the miss might be light here, because right now there's no shot to get 3, and you'd sure hate to give him a shot to give 4 or 5.
Yeah, it would definitely be really tough to get more than 2 right now. They have to move that top yellow, move it pretty good. So yeah, if you were to go top 4 here, it would be pretty good. Lots of ice. Not heavy.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's getting by the one at the top of the button. It's going to be tight.
It's not bad.
No, I think it worked out.
Like, do you throw a guard and take your deuce here? That's what they're thinking about. I don't really see anything on the outturn side that works out good.
Well, all I see is if you tap the yellow up about half a rock's width.
Yeah.
And then smashing that red on the outside puts red onto yellow onto red, and the red probably spins out, so that they won't be able to smash it.
Yeah, they just throw a guard and you still have 2. Right now, if you don't throw, do you think that they're playing that red rock? Do you think that they're hitting that red rock?
I think they're playing it. I don't know if it's going to be a hit or just a draw tap.
Just a draw tap, yeah. It comes with risk. So yeah, it's like they're listening to you this time. They're playing a little tap.
If you tap this up a little bit, I think you can take that red tap away.
Yeah.
It's tough to move this far enough to give yourself a chance to get 3 on the next one, but it is possible.
If you move it far enough, you can still tap the back one a bit. You've got a bit of space to tap the back one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's going to be he's got ice for just a bit of a heavy draw, it looks like. So
yeah, I think first priority is you're just trying to tap this into line so that the
just
red yellow goes onto the back red, and then they can't play it with any weight if that's the case.
Yeah.
But if you tap it far enough, there might be a chance to get a third one in there.
Line's perfect. Did everything that we wanted.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think
well, because you left half of the yellow, right? So if you tap the red up, the yellow's still available to be promoted in there, and you can probably do it with a ton of weight. I don't see any yellows leaving, but there's a possibility that a lot of reds leave.
A lot of reds go. Yeah, can you Could you, like, if you were throwing yellow right now, if you hit half a rock on that top yellow one?
I think all the reds go.
I do too. I think they do. And you can see half a rock. So, like, yeah, there's.
It's the only. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe the yellow on the button, when it comes off the other red, I don't think it comes straight back enough. I think it's going to touch the other yellow.
Yeah.
And that means the red at the very back of the forefoot, full four at the back foot,
on
forefoot,
the center line.
That one's not going to move, but everything else does.
Everything else goes.
If you could ever get that yellow to come straight back off the other red, but it's just a little too hooked. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah. It looks like they're playing the top. They're playing this intern top to just kind of trying to change it. I don't know that it does, though. It might make it easier for 3.
Well, it might, because if it taps it to the face of the yellow at the back of the button, then when you run that yellow on the angle, it's the one at the back of the button is going to take care of both of those reds behind it. We're going to have to go to get this by the yellow.
Doesn't look like they're going to get it by the yellow.
No, and that actually might make the angle a little better.
You could play this. You could play this with a number of weights right now. Like, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can play this top for 3. I think it's only ever going to be for 3 anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
3 miles an hour.
I don't see the one at the back of the forefoot leaving. Can you see enough? What they're wondering about now? Can you see enough of the red?
Yeah.
To play kind of the around the horn, red onto yellow. That kicks the red out. The first red comes and kicks the second one at the back of the button, which would then kill the 2 reds at the back. I'm not sure you can see enough of it, though.
I mean, don't
It's
you just
close.
come down? Don't you just come down right now with hack weight and hit half a rock and bounce off the yellow, the red onto or yellow onto red and just roll into the top button? I mean,
I think if you're going to play that kind of weight, you could just play the same draw tap, the same shot. Basically, they just played it.
Yeah. Just hit it right there with like, I don't even think it matters what weight you throw. Like, I think you always get 3 here as long as you hit that rock right there.
Yeah, I don't see how any of the yellows are leaving.
Yeah, so I think you always get 3 if you hit a quarter of the rock, a thin quarter. Like I don't think you can hit this thin enough. Like,
I
too
don't
thin.
think it matters what you hit, because
I don't either.
If you hit everything you can see, it comes onto the yellow, which just rattles between the red and the other yellow. It's not going anywhere.
It looks like they're playing this with her kind of like the same weight that she played last end. Just that's pretty tight ice for hitting a quarter rock. I think she's playing it with a bit of weight. Yep. Biggest thing here is
you have to make contact.
Make contact so we get to watch it. There you go. Oh, yeah. 3. That's a great shot. There, I think it was in the bag no matter what, but you still have to execute. You still have to make the shot. So great shot for 3. We've got ourselves a couple of field goals in the first 2 ends of this, the semifinal of the Saville mixed doubles, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the semifinals of Saville Mixed Doubles Classic here on Curling Zone. It's Cory Thiesse and Cory Dropkin versus Ueno and Yamaguchi, and we've got, as I said, a couple of field goals in the first two ends here. Sean, lots of rocks in play, lots of awesome shots.
Yeah, it's been some good angles and some nice shots made, including the last one here by Miyu Ueno with her final stone. Take a look at how this hit. We were wondering, talking about how the reds might fly. When she hits this, it comes off the back end of the red, touches it, and she did move all four of the red stones.
All four rocks, yeah.
With a little bit more weight.
With a little more weight.
Because they went around, that back, the yellow that was just hanging on, nibbling at the back of the forefoot, everything went around it. If she moves the reds another foot each, it's for 4.
Yeah.
It's actually funny to look at a rock like that and watch how everything went around it. There were so many rocks in front of it that could have, and nothing touched it. Everything was going by it.
Just kind of went nicely ignoring it.
Yeah.
That is such a big shot too, like in getting right on top like that. It just kind of like got to play the intern now and try to just wiggle it off a bit, sit there.
I think he might run the guard back. That was there's 5 in play now.
Yeah.
Did that in the first.
I know. It's just such a risk. Like I hear you. It's the only chance that you can do it, really, is right here. I think you can also, it looks like a little tight ice. Gonna try to get by the guard and just tap the top yellow and just move it a bit. Back 4 is the call.
That is tight for line.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. They had pretty tight ice here. They chisel off the guard. It isn't the end of the world, right? Pretty aggressive on the ice there.
Yeah, the outturn is kind of taken away for now.
Yeah. Do you just come down? It looks like they want to come down and get it right on the nose of their rock with a pretty solid amount of weight, Sean. This is pretty tight ice.
I'll be honest, and I don't see that the angle works good for them this way. I think if they're going to play this, they actually have to cross their own.
I think they want to kind of nose it as much as they can and just release that back yellow one. So, and hope that red rolls behind their 2 rocks sitting right there. That's the hope.
That's asking for a lot with the amount of weight they're throwing here. What I'd be worried about with this is that you don't get enough separation on the top 2 yellows and you leave a nose hit double.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I think you're better off. You cross it, tap the yellow onto the red, release that back yellow, like you were saying, but then get your shooter out of the way.
Get your shooter out of the way. Yeah.
In behind cover. So it still shrinks the house.
That's in play. They're sweeping it for line, though. Getting right to the nose.
Yeah, it's hard to miss that double on the yellows, though, right?
That's the danger.
Yeah.
But it's going to leave you, you're going to nose this, leave a double back, which leaves a double back for deuce.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the other thing about it too, with Ueno and Yamaguchi, they don't have last rock here. So leaving a chance for Cory Dropkin to start moving rocks out of the forefoot, you're just making a bigger scoring area for them.
Yeah. They were sweeping that. They were sweeping that for line. So they were not trying to cross it unless they changed somewhere.
Don't think they saw this outcome, and that was the first thing I saw is you don't want to leave them this double, because now if you're the team with last rock, you're opening up room here with this too. You don't worry about the double back. It's look how much extra room you've got to try to score now.
Yep. Nice control weight here. It's right down the center line. Get a little roll inside even.
Bonus. Didn't leave the double.
Didn't leave the double. Use the intern freeze. Scary. Scary on a lot of levels. It bounced off the top one. It's not good. Bounce off the back one. Obviously, it's horrible. Basically, just got to make sure you kind of get in there and freeze. Gonna leave Korey a chance to probably blast it on the nose. Trying to play the freeze right here. Come right down. Sit it right on that little umbrella, basically. Got to go for line, which means that it possibly not heavy. Can't chip off the top one. Really got it. Really going for line right now. Really did not want to do that. I think you're playing this now.
Yeah, probably quiet. I don't think you can just play the smash double because I think you need to keep your shooter in front of that rock at the back button.
Do you even need to double at this point? Like,
no, you can jam it. Roll is fine.
Yeah, like
You're never sitting 4 out of this anyway because the back yellow is coming onto the red at the back.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But if you
ever just play it to miss, you ever just play it to miss the back one?
Dead stuff it?
No, just like a hit and roll off of it and miss the back one, like just to roll over to the wings a bit.
Oh, I see.
Very
no,
very lonely yellow rock.
Yeah, that's going to be too much roll.
Yeah,
I think you want to keep your shooter kind of Christmas treat if you can, and not leave them all of the one at the back of the button, which is still going to touch that one at the back 4-foot somehow, but I don't think it likely rolls out of the 4-foot.
He's playing it pretty quiet here. It's a lot of ice. Just to.
It's more about controlling the roll. This, yeah.
Everything's okay. On it and off it. Pretty good. Use that intern freeze again. Yeah. Intern freeze for your lives.
Might have rolled a shade too far.
What do you think? There's no shot on the outturn.
There's the yellow run back to kill all 3 of them, but
yeah. Some people would already have the broom up there trying that.
Well, I'm not sure.
Comes with a lot of risk.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's the shot you want to be playing without last rock. If you had last rock and you were thinking, well, if nothing else, I got to open up some room, that's a different story.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. Like you could corner freeze on the top one in the top 4-foot here, and it would be not bad, right? Like if you just kind of got it there. If you were right beside it, it would be a really tough rock to get out. It'd be tough to score more. It'd be tough to score 2.
You can't afford to move it, I'll tell you that. Because if you
afford to bounce anywhere,
if you're right on it, I don't think there's room between the 2 reds to get it out. But if you move it back a few inches, you could leave a double on the yellows through the port that could be for 4 again.
You really don't want to bounce.
Yeah.
You really don't want to bounce here under no circumstances. Mine looks good.
She left room.
Yep. She left just
thin double for 4.
Yeah. Basically, if the rock is touching just thinner than touching the center line.
Yeah.
Right, the center line on contact.
Even less.
It's actually really good at mixed doubles for that too, because you can sweep it. You can just look at that center line and know to sweep it.
I don't think they want to touch center. I think they want less than that.
Yeah, I think they want a bit less too. But I think it's close to make. I think they get it for 2 for sure. Last rock here in the 3rd end. Trying to hit a really, really, really thin amount of that rock on the top yellow. Come on to the back yellow on the back of the forefoot for 4. Popped it out there a little bit. Pretty close.
Might be
Getting
over
close to
curling.
that center line. Oh, it got the back. There you go.
Got
another 3. Yeah. We're just going back and forth with 3s. This popped it out nicely. Pounded it at the end.
Just see there where it starts to move and
yeah.
And did get to the center line, which was just a hair too thick, and then it spins off the other rock. You get the first one just a sliver thinner.
Yeah. All right, well, we got another 3, and this is an exciting game, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the semifinal of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic between Ueno and Yamaguchi versus Thiesse and Dropkin. We've got lots of field goals on this football Sunday day. Everyone's just kicking them perfectly, Sean.
Yeah, I've heard they've ordered more 3s for the scoreboard already, just in case.
Yeah.
Borrowing them off the other sheets.
Yep. What do you think about like the dead freeze onto the back one on the first rock?
Well, you know, it's a matter of choice. It does look like everybody that I've seen here is trying to get all the way down to the back one, and maybe that's determined by the ice conditions here. And I've only got one title in my bag on this format. It was in the old rules where the first stone was right behind the pinhole. So if you made that freeze, it was just a question of how many you were stealing.
Yeah.
When they changed the rule to put it the back of the forefoot, I like that rule because now it forces you to make a tactical decision. Are we coming to the back one, or are we staying in front of the tee line? But there's so much curl here at the Saville Center, and you've seen it. We've had some great camera angles again in this game where a rock can come by the guard by a foot and a half and still get to that rock on the center line. So in order to get your rock into a position where it's hard to remove, they have to come to the back one, which then in turn means the team with last rock still has room to get to the button and score. And that's why we've seen all this great angle play. To your point, though, I think if it wasn't curling quite as hard as this, you might see some teams trying to put rocks at the top of the button and be thinking more about steal position.
Yeah, controlling.
Right here, you have, here you kind of have to, because the ice is there to still make all those shots.
Yeah.
You have to worry about eliminating that one at the back and shrinking the scoring area.
Looking at coming down with a little bit of weight here. That's the universal indication for backline weight. Maybe a little bit heavier than backline weight based on this ice, Sean?
Yeah, depends on how much they want to move it. To me,
Yeah.
on this particular shot, it's more important. The line is more important than the weight. You'd
Yeah,
like to
get to the
cross the. You could play the shot from either side, honestly, with the amount of curl there is on this ice.
Yeah.
But you need to get to the center line side of that red one, and you want to stay kind of angled on the red one, so you got a chance to get it out later.
Well, I think they're playing it really, really tight with this weight too, in case they clip the guard. Clipping the guard isn't the worst thing in the world. Looks like they're by though, and they're crossing it.
Yeah, it might be too thin. They're going to
a
roll
little
off.
Don't think that's great.
Yeah, the angles, they left an okay angle on the shooter into the
Yeah.
button area, but there's ways to get rid of it right now if they wanted to. And the red-yellow touching the button, that angle already favors.
Yeah, that's ugly. Especially if you get this right into this pocket here. It's not gonna get nicer. It's not gonna get nicer for.
Yellow's got shot rock, but the red one's probably in the better position right now.
Yeah, and they're about to put it one right on top of the one that's in a better position. Yeah, if he puts this just crosses the yellow one like right into that little pocket between the red and yellow. I don't know why you play. Got it out there. The key here is not be heavy. Everything is nice. Don't change the angles. Just get it right there. He's switching to get it to curl a bit. It's hanging out there like it's heavy, Sean.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. He's got a little too much weight. Can't sweep to curl because he's already heavy.
Oh, is that bad? I mean, again, it's not great.
You'd have to roll away, but half a rock on the outside of the red one, almost like all three reds go. You'll double the reds, come back, and the yellow onto the red.
It's pretty good because you'd be sitting 4.
Yeah.
Then have last rock. And they'd be spread out pretty good.
Well, I think the red almost looks like it's coming to the back 12-foot one. So and you're going to lose your shooter if you're playing that. So
what if you just play? Yeah, that's true.
But you'd have some room. Like that's.
If you go into this pocket right now, if you just try to hit that right on the nose.
Into the pocket or hit the other one? Like I'm actually looking. Do you hit the other one on the nose? So hit it on the nose, clip the yellow onto the red back 4-foot.
That's not bad. Yeah.
And then you've got angles, yellow, red on both sides of the 4-foot. Like you've got 2 ways to get at that red shot stone.
I think that's what they're playing.
Might be.
Right on the nose of this red. Pretty lonely red rock. Just a normal weight hit, probably. A little quieter than we thought. Maybe they are going into that pocket. It's curling like they're going into the pocket, Sean. They're going into that red one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was better.
I'm still wondering. I think it is.
Well, I mean, you've got 2 good stones at the top of the 4-foot, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you make more than 1 point out of that right now.
Well, I think what you need is a miss.
Well,
I think they can't
complete
play
misses are
anything
rare.
on these. Yeah, they can't play anything on these yellow rocks, can they?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think that they can hit them.
But they can chisel in off their own and get into a spot where
Well, that's the shot, right?
Shooter
that's
out,
the
right?
shot. Because that's like they're gonna run up and play that themselves, right?
Yeah.
If you don't play that, then
it's a triple
Yamaguchi's
for
playing it.
to sit 4.
Yeah, just sit a bundle. So like you either gotta play that right now and make it. There's nothing on the top yellows that I see. Looks like just a quiet weight come off it, just like a
Yeah, you don't want to move the other reds when you get to them, but you want to sit right in the pocket that exists between those two reds, and then it probably needs 2 shots to get this one out.
It would definitely
need 2 shots left, and you can't see it to make the first one. So that makes it really tricky. You're gonna have to.
So big shot here, a little bit of hit and roll here. Not even a hit and roll, just a redirection. Last rock here for Dropkin. On and off it. Looks pretty good. Very good.
Yeah, I don't know that they necessarily wanted to move that rock like that.
No, I don't think they did. Can you come down with just like a back line? Yeah, and just kind of. Oh, that's still not going to get it out of there.
No, it's still not going to get it out of the 4-foot.
Can you blast it with the intern? Hit what you can see with the intern? Make it go straight sideways?
The red one?
Yeah. Just hit what you can see of the red one with the intern. Do you double them off?
Yeah, you could probably double the 2 out of the back button. I don't think it touches the one that's just nibbling the back 4-foot, but that still might not be bad.
I think that you end up with 2 rocks that they can't really remove, can they? I mean, they can.
Well, they could probably do the same thing. Probably on the out turn, because they can see half on the out turn. Yeah. So it's just a matter of what's going to be left at the back for everything to jam onto, and it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that's what they're playing, Sean. Nope, they're not.
Not with that ice.
Take it all back.
I don't think they ever looked at it. They were looking at the taps all the way. And the question here is, how do you leave yourself a good enough angle? Because again, the 2 at the back of the 4-foot, the red, yellow at the back of the 4-foot, right now it's making it very hard to get the red at the back of the button out of the 4-foot, which means the yellow on the other side of the 4-foot that they're not playing here, it's not ever going to be far enough in to come back into the scoring zone. You have to, in order to have a way to get that red to move far enough, you've got to move 3 rocks here. You don't have to move the back one very far, but you do have to move it.
Yeah. I would have thought about the outturn tap and just tap it right to a freeze. And then you still have that intern blast for like a bunch.
Yeah, it's the outturn's tougher though, because you got to get it by your own stone. This is really going sideways on them.
Really curling. Looks like they might tap the. Gonna get in the. Gonna get this pretty good actually. It's not bad. It's definitely shot.
Yeah. I'm not sure where you're getting to. That back red's never leaving the 4-foot now.
Yeah, you are not getting 2 unless you can hit what
tap.
You see. No.
Tap your own up to the button. I don't think you can hit it thick enough to do that.
Can you hit what you can see and blast with the intern and hope that it hits off the back red and spins sideways?
I don't see any chance that one's leaving. It's coming off the red into the yellow and staying there.
Right. I'm just wondering whether or not it comes off the red, hits the yellow, and still spins, and it's still spinning.
Well, it would have to be spinning a lot because it's coming up into more of the 4-foot first.
I agree. I'm grasping at straws, Sean. They look like they're playing. It looks like they're playing to guard that anyway, because I think that's might be the only shot. And I don't even think it's there. So I think they're just going to play a guard here and leave them the outturn tap for a first down 3. Well, I shouldn't talk yet. I think this is just get it in the way, Sean.
Maybe.
Put something in the way here.
And I don't know if it's going to be in the way.
I don't think it's going to be in the way.
Across.
It is not in the way. All right, so we get to find out whether or not it's actually going to happen. Does it spin? She very nonchalantly made the shot last time.
I don't think you could see enough on the outturn side. You're not going to put it into the red. You're going to put it into the yellow, and then the
yeah, and that could end up as a steal.
Yeah,
can't not score with this intern.
True.
I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't see any way you're spinning the yellow off.
Yeah,
you can't see enough of it to spin it off. You're going to crash before you could.
So I think you just kind of give this a go and hit as thin and like. Just play it quiet.
Unless they're thinking, okay, come down to it, tap it, withdraw, try to leave your shooter right there and move the red far enough that the shooter is the second point.
I think if you get it to the back one, Sean, on this angle, that top one, the one top 4 foot might actually outcount this back one. There's a chance at it.
Back end of the one at the top 4 foot looks like it's in the 8 foot to me, and I don't see any way you're getting the red one out of the 4 foot. There's 2 rocks there that are biting four.
So they're playing this with like a heavy draw.
Yeah, I think she's trying to keep the shooter full 4 when she taps this red back and get the second point out of the shooter.
Gotcha. Yeah,
they will. I mean, if it's heavy draw, they do come in pretty well sideways.
Yeah, they finish hard.
It'll be coming in at the right angle to dead stuff on the yellow. It's the question is, can you move the red far enough?
Last rock of the 4th end. Only it's either safety. Not getting a field goal this one. It's pretty close.
Yeah, just could not hold the shooter.
I still think it's 2.
I do not, but
yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's definitely 1. Might as well just throw a stick on it, ladies and gentlemen, because like that's what you do. It's definitely close.
Yeah, of course you can't be sure that the camera angle is perfect. I know from doing this for a number of years that when you go into a building like this, when you're mounting those cameras above, you don't always necessarily get to put them right over the pinhole. You have to put them where you've got something to mount them to. So our angle might not be 100% perfect. It'll be close though.
You never know, too, on the oh, yeah, just 1. Just 1 here in the 4th end. And it's our first one. We'll be back after these messages to talk about what that means.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, The Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome back to the semifinal of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic between Ueno, Yamaguchi, and Thiesse and Dropkin. We got our first one there. Our first time of nobody kicking a field goal. So it looks like the Ueno and Yamaguchi team is going to go all out offense unless.
Yeah, I think that was just a miss. Like she was probably playing the freeze again, and it's light.
Where do you want this one now? You want this one top 4 in front.
Top button. Yeah, bite the top of the button in behind that stagger. You definitely want it all the way down to the top of the button, though. You don't want to leave room for them to get one in between the reds, and they probably left room.
That is not it's not the most ideal spot.
No, it's still going to leave the possibility of getting this forefoot congested.
Run right away to this in-turn. I wonder whether or not you can get a better solution out of the out-turn.
Well, I'm sure you can get there with either turn.
Yeah, I agree.
But just the way everything's angled right now, the in-turn looks like the more natural. But, I mean, we've seen plenty of rocks. If you come tight by a guard, you're out the other side. So there's room on either side.
Coming to the back one. Good spot. Really good spot.
And things in the house
Gonna be peeling.
Good. So Corey Dropkin's already eyeing up how many rocks out front can we make go away?
Yeah. He's looking at possibly moving that top red as well, the way that he was lining that up.
Yeah.
Just hit this top guard really, really thin.
And the face Corey Thiesse made suggests to me that she may not be sold on this shot, but
I don't think she is. I think you just want to get rid of these, right?
Well, like yeah, because here's the thing. You come back into the house, make contact. Like this could be, we're forced to a single because it's looking like a blank.
Yeah. I think you just throw the out-turn peel at these and just get rid of them both. He's looking at real thin on the in-turn side. Just hit. Yeah, I think that's the better shot. Just roll for a corner, get rid of both of these. There you go. Corey made the face and cause Dropkin come down and say, all right, maybe you're right. Lots of weight. Plan to cross it a bit here. Just like that. Not bad. Probably wanted to cross it a bit more and get it out of the way.
Hoping to roll the shooter a bit.
Yeah. Surprised he played the cross and didn't just go the out turn on it, but it's whatever you think you can make, really. There's no right way to make a peel. Now they're debating where to put it so that it makes it tough to double peel. I want to throw a guard here.
Yeah, I think a guard. Now, if you were really greedy, and there's an argument to be made for being really greedy in doubles play.
Yeah.
If you could
shot.
Well, no, I'm thinking actually corner freeze the red at the top of the 8, line it up so that because it works the same as a guard if you corner freeze it.
Yeah.
And line it up so that it could clip. If it could clip those ones at the back, you could have a shot to sit 3. So then Corey can't just blast everything. He's got to change an angle somewhere or come in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could freeze right onto your own. You could freeze right onto that rock.
You could,
They've decided to try to throw a high guard here and force another double peel.
The problem is if he makes the double peel, then you're kind of committed to throw another guard. You can't.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that needed to be a little bit higher too, to put a little bit more pressure on this, but it's high. Now he's really contemplating running it in.
Oh, he has to here, I think.
Yellow onto red into that whole mess. Good Lord willing, things will work out just fine, right?
Yeah. Here's
half a rock, third of a rock.
He's never going to do it this way, but the other thought here is because all the rocks coming into the rings are going to be red, and even the one at the top when you make contact, you don't actually need to whip this.
No, you don't.
You bring the reds into the rings. All you're looking to do if you make contact with something in the house is change the angles or leave yourself an angle. If he happens to bring this back and just picks that one out of the top of the 8, he really hasn't dramatically improved the situation. You're probably looking at a force then. But if you could leave a red or even perhaps 2 in the rings somewhere, if you leave them as a biter, got to get the shooter off the center line though. That's
not a good result.
No. They're coming into the top of the button now.
Yeah, they're coming to the top of the button right there.
I'm not sure how he's not already in the hacks.
I'd be running down there with a big smile on my face. He just tapped a little bit high as well. This is an opportunity. You just got like a big miss. Like this is a chance to sit you absolutely buried. I don't think you settle on a corner freeze on that top red. Like,
no, you're playing to the yellow, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but he tapped in front as like this is okay. I'm just saying, like I don't think it is. I think you want right to the button here. The shot he made on his first one.
Yeah, you got to get the line right because there is a yellow run back, which is probably what they're playing.
Yeah, you're never getting rid of this back one though, right? And you're running R.
Well,
you're running it.
If you angle freeze the back when you are, so it's critical to get right to the face here.
I got you. I see what you mean. I think it's just critical to get it in there and put the pressure on this run back.
He's got the right weight to start to walk right there.
It's not curling like it. It's not finishing like they were really.
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Here it goes. Get it in there. Pretty good. Only thing is probably the yellow, red, yellow, right?
Yeah, you're either playing that now, but if you don't make it, you're in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
Or you double peel and say, okay, you can't guard everything.
Yeah.
You can't guard the red tap running back and the yellow, because I mean, if you could see half of that yellow, you could just blast and probably everything spins out of the forefoot.
If you nut this, if he nuts this dead on then, like just on the angle that he has, pick out the back red, pick out the back yellow, lose the red, and that yellow just sits right there. You just leave this shot again, right?
Probably, although I think the yellow at the back, just because they didn't get right to the face, the yellow at the back is going to pop out into the open.
Maybe. Yeah.
If you hit it, there's actually a chance you might not even make contact with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is tight. Really got to go for.
Well, that was not what they had in mind.
No, I'm still left thinking like this is getting a little bit dodgy. I took away the outturn draw to the edge of the button. If you can get this biting
the same spot, put it in the same spot.
Yeah, if this bites the top button, they're playing the double on the red yellow or yellow yellow.
I think they're playing the slash double, and there's still some risk with that because if the red goes, there's that other yellow hanging at the edge of the 8 foot. So
it becomes a steal of 2, and if you hit it too thin, it becomes a steal. It could become a steal of a bunch.
They actually talked about a little tap, and that might be okay too. Like if you got just to the inside corner of that yellow, move it back 2 inches.
Yeah.
Because now there's a chance if you play the slash, it goes directly onto the red, and then it's a steal of 4. So you can't play it.
Can't, yeah. All you can do is play the outturn draw.
They'd have the wide outturn draw. Well, the wide outturn draw, there's probably room to score. Right now.
It depends again where this goes.
She's not light.
She's not. I don't know if this does anything, but well, it's going to leave the intern draw with. It's going to leave the outturn draw or I think the intern draw to the right to the nose, right?
They're only setting 2. It's risky to play the in because if it hangs like that one you just saw, you could tap it in for 3. I think you're playing the out.
I think you are too. It's just it's farther. It looks it looks bad from the hack because that rock is so far over. Like you just have to trust the curl on the ice, but it just optically doesn't look as nice as the in-turn draw. But you have to play the out-turn draw.
If you're on that guard, I'm not sure you're getting by the stone on the top of the 4 foot anyway. So like to freeze to that back one, she's not going to be anywhere near the guard.
Yeah, that was tough because I think on that last one, Ueno played that like as an either or. And I think you played that either or. She just threw it a little bit harder than necessary. That was just a straight draw to the top button. And if you can sweep it to make it an either or, as opposed to throw the either or. Here it's just a straight draw to the top button. There's no either's or ors. It's just a straight draw to the top button against 2, up 6-4, playing the 5th end. Last rock. Here we go. Nice 12 o'clock release. It's pretty tight to the guard. Yeah, it's good. It looks like it's going to be perfectly fine. It's a really good draw. Really good spot.
And still crossed to the hair.
Awesome shot. The last end for 1 to go up 7-4 in this semifinal. We'll be back to talk about it right after these messages.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos.
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Thiesse. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome back to the semifinal of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. Thiesse Dropkin versus Ueno and Yamaguchi here in the end.
And we're going to get to see the outside kick shot on the power play.
This is curling a bit too much.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd sweep this very far. It's in a pretty good spot for you right now. They left the corner guard. Now they've left you something at the back of the 8 foot.
Might have been a smart idea for Cory to go and sweep that a bit too. I don't know. It's hard to say. Weight was perfect. That's exactly the weight you want to throw. Trying to freeze dead on their own right here. They don't have to sit. They don't even have. They're not trying to sit shot or second shot. They're just trying to sit 2 buried behind a corner guard. Starting to go. Look at this go right away.
Yeah, they go harder to the corners than they do to the middle. And earlier, much earlier.
This might come out the other side a little bit.
A little bit's okay because I could angle onto the red.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not bad. You can't really play the double because it's going into the red one.
Yeah.
Can't play it yet anyway because this is still just the 5th stone.
Playing just the top.
Yeah, on the corner guard.
Yep. Nice little pop there. Get it out. Good result. Good shot. What do you like now, Sean? You come around that one? Do you nose hit it?
Yeah, it would be awfully tempting to nose hit it. There's no obvious doubles anywhere.
I think you nose hit it because that
even flop to the outside even a little bit.
Yeah, flop a hair. Well, I don't know if you want to flop too many hairs to the outside. You start to make it a little bit more of a half rock double. I think if you dead nose it, that's half a rock goes through that hole, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Does Dropkin try the cross house double with some danger?
Yeah,
when he's got no sweepers. I mean, he's going to get up and sweep it himself, but you're not getting a brush stroke down in the first 20 feet on a takeout. You're just not.
Yeah, right. Well, I think you either nose this or come around it, and I like nosing it better.
Yeah.
I don't like rolling out to the wing there.
I do.
Okay.
And just because I don't think Corey ever tries the crosshouse double, because if you hit the crosshouse double thin, you take the red one out of the back, and then you've made the 3. You know, it's almost automatic.
You made the 3 a lot easier.
You made the 3 for them basically.
Looks like they're switching it to the come around, which I also don't. I think those are the 2 shots: hit it or come around it.
I don't love this, and this is something you see in doubles all the time. In my opinion, they wait too long to try to make the hits, and then you don't have enough rocks left to get like. So they've got 2 reds they got to get rid of here, and
yeah. The theory on this is that they believe they can make the double on the 2 reds. That's all I'm saying, Sean.
I get it, but in order for that to matter, you're assuming that what are they going to completely miss, and the answer is probably nothing.
Well, I guess maybe you think that they run back this red and miss it and make it easier for you. I don't know. Like, you got to make this real close. Unlucky. All right. Well, now they're gonna put another one, just a nice little control weight, hit and roll.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have 3 red ones that you got to deal with, and 2 more to come, and you've only got 3 rocks left to get rid of them yourself.
Yep.
And I think it's a common mistake in doubles when you're trying to play the offense. And I grant you, it's tough to not group your rocks in doubles too, but so many rocks you got to get rid of, and you don't have very many chances.
Yeah. It's the whole concept of when you play a run back as well. Like, the run back sounds like a great shot, but if you ever do miss it, then now you're just in a whale of trouble.
Yeah. Well, so many times,
situation they're in.
So many times, if you're going to play it, you better play it at the first chance that you've got available, because you don't have a lot of time.
Nice little control, weight, hit and roll here. Knows it wouldn't be the end of the world. They want to roll it just to the other side of the button.
This is rolling a long ways right now.
Yeah, it's starting to curl now. Pretty confident in the weight. Might roll a little. Okay.
If you're bringing those other yellows back in, you got to hit something here.
Yeah. And now you got to play the double and roll to behind the other one, right? Like, just catch a corner of it and hope. Like, even if you don't get it out of the rings, you just get it all the way out. It's gonna leave the double back, but trying for the double. Hit a thick half.
Yeah.
And overroll this too. You just got to stay. Gotta stay. Here we go. Curls off this line pretty hard, too. It seems tightish ice. Got it back pretty good. It's pretty close. Get it where he wanted. Great roll. Great shot. Oh, look at the spin back. Doesn't really kill him, but yeah, he takes on this. Look at this control. Nice control weight, John.
Yep. Yeah, well,
Right
it
where he
had to be
wanted
because to where he was hitting the first one, to make the double, if you throw like a normal
They
hit,
could
you're
have
probably
helped.
rolling out. That's
They
not
could have
bad.
helped there.
I don't mind the pop, the spin back.
Yeah.
Because if you stay in behind, Corey's got a choice here. He could play the double or even just the hit and roll in front of it. Granted, it's a long hit and roll, but if he ends up in front of it, you got no way to get it out. If he hits and rolls in front of it now, it's a nose hit on the red at the top. Still likely gets rid of both of them.
I think he's always playing this hit. I think he's always playing this double.
Well, he is, but if he hits it thick, he
Yeah.
could still roll in front of it.
Yeah, I
That's the
gotcha.
thing, right? So leaving it sticking out there a little bit, like if everything's in a line and he rolls in front of it, you can't get the reds out.
This is going to be moving.
It is.
Just put the broom down where you want to hit it and throw it really hard.
Looks like he's still throwing it with the outturn though. And
Yeah,
if you hit
he's
it
got the
thick with the outturn, it's
It
not
could
gonna
go
come
over
out
top.
at you. Could or you know, it won't roll as hard with the outturn and could stay there. He's not throwing this as hard as I would have thought either.
Maybe just to try to make a curl or to control it a bit.
Yeah, that's not the result you wanted.
Nope.
If you were going to touch it, you wanted to be able to kill it. Like he hit the line was
Yeah.
right. You just needed more weight.
Good chance here at a double and a very, very, very spread out 3 stones.
And the safety here, if you don't make the double, if you just stuff the red one back onto the other one, hold your shooter because it's a little bit on the angle. You're
Yeah.
sitting second, third, and fourth. And where do you put the next rock?
Yeah.
It's not going to leave some kind of shot at a double for a pile. Like even if you hit one, how do you not leave a double?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, stuffing this
Goal.
isn't horrible, but you'd like to make the double here.
You like to make the double. It makes your life a lot easier if you can make the double here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just off nose.
He's already on the inside of it, I think. This
Yeah,
is not going to
yeah.
be good. You got to miss
This
the
is-
back yellow then.
Yeah. Well, he's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unlucky. Unlucky. No, we can't nose hit this.
Well, I'm not sure it's shot. If the red's shot, you can hit and roll in off the other one.
Do you ever draw?
You know
I
they're
think
going
red
to play.
is shot.
You know they're going to play the double, so I don't think you draw. But you could certainly hit the other one.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard says you hit the other one. Sometimes scoreboards talk to you. Right now they're saying hit.
And they never lie.
They don't. No, the scoreboard doesn't lie because it's just an objective thing. Like it doesn't have any opinions.
Wow,
It just,
that would be a really gutsy call.
that I don't like that in any way.
No.
I would be drawing before that. I think you hit the outside one and roll in.
I do too.
I think it's just
if
like,
you're sure you're shot rock, and it looks like it is.
I think it is. If you're not sure, I mean, obviously they're not sure because they're dealing.
If you're
with
not
it.
sure, you could hit the yellow that's full 12, and you'd have to try to roll a little bit to the
Yeah,
outside.
just-
You might be able
yeah.
to spin and get second shot, but you're going to leave a double.
But even if you do, like if you just nose this, they call a timeout and call their. Even if you just nose this, you
They're
play
gonna-
the.
They're going to have to hit the back one for 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they hit the back one for 2, and then you have a power play left. You just play the power play on your last one, and then you probably win this game, right? Like, don't give up 3 here. Even if you do, it's not the end of the world. But 2 is outstanding. Based on their conversation, Sean, they think maybe there's a chance that yellow is shot. Oh,
if you make this one, it doesn't really make any difference over as to which one is shot. I mean, they were going to have a shot for 2 anyway.
Yeah. I think this is the right call right here to put pressure on them and the scoreboard. Like, I think you could hit the top one and roll a smidge to the left and make things a little bit tougher. But I think you just hit this and roll to bite the 8 foot and
I'm not sure I'd ever want to try to
missile.
I don't think I'd ever want to try to roll as far as what they're talking about, because you roll
Neither do I.
3/4 of the way there, and you've made the double easier.
Yeah, I mean, the perfect spot is roll to the top 4, right?
Well, again, if the Reds shot at the back, and I think it is, I'm not positive the way they're playing this, the way they're calling it, then you just roll in for second shot or second shot. Make as much room between the Reds as you can, because she's going to try the double, right?
I think the way that they're playing the shot, they believe that the top yellow is shot.
Okay. Well, that's the only reason that I think you try to roll as far as they are.
There's no other there's no other reason to do this, right?
It doesn't look like it to me, no.
Yeah. Well, last rock, long time discussion here. Just trying to play a long hit and roll. Looks close. They're on and off it. Oh, there we go. The top 4 foot. Not bad. Now we see whether or not who believes who was shot. Everybody taking a look here. It's close enough that you just play nose and try to win the measure. 0 for 1 in the measure, but maybe they'll get they'll be 1 and 1 in the measure after this one. Either way, Sean, we got a power play coming probably from the Coreys.
Well,
so
yeah. If you tried the double and ever hit it too thick, I mean, there's room to roll all the way over the top, but then if you lose the measure, it's a steal. So you really have to make sure of the 1 here. And
yep. Nose hit this. Try to win the measure.
I am measuring with everything on my screen I can find on my desk. I still don't think they're going to have to measure it, but we'll see. Again, you don't know for sure how close the camera is to the pinhole either. So when we start looking front and back, like those are the ones where if your camera's a little off, it can really throw you off.
And ice makers are awesome, but they're always not perfect. So the rings are never or not always.
Don't say that where they can hear you.
Well, I put in ice, so I know that I know that sometimes there's the stick. Corey's grabbing it right away. There's no need to sit there and debate. Everyone agrees it's really close. Well, let's see. Let's see how close it is here. It's a decently big point. Never a big fan of tightening up on the rock. You think it's red?
It's not. They're going to go around again, but
they're going around again. It looks
they're not.
They're not.
I think it's yellow. I think it was 2. That did not look like the red. It didn't look like the needle moved as far on the second one.
No, it didn't. It looks like it's maybe 2, but we'll find out after these messages.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Tough to do.
All right, welcome back to the final end of the semifinal Saville's Mixed Double Classic here on Curling Stadium. My name is Matt Hames.
But it's not the final end. We got 2 yet to go.
Oh, seventh end. Sorry, the seventh end. Oh, I got ahead of myself, Sean. Sorry.
Don't get too far ahead because we were already debating in the break what she's playing here, and I think it's the guard. I got to say it before she gets rid of it.
I think it's top. I think it's in the rings.
This looks like she's chasing. This surprises me.
She's chasing.
I thought one down here. I thought they'd play for the steal for sure.
They got the deuce in the sixth end.
Yeah, and what she's getting is the corner guard. That's way out on my playlist.
Oh, this is
Cory and Korey are happy.
They're ecstatic right now.
They're never going to have to play anything on the center line here. If you're I guess if you're Ueno and Yamaguchi, they were hoping to get a force here, but now you're going to have a hard time.
Just pulled this trigger, because that's not even close to where they wanted to go. And he was on it right away. So maybe.
They're talking about open side already,
I don't
too.
like that.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either, Sean, but why not go around this guard top? Top 8 foot.
Because then they're going to chase. Corey Dropkin is thinking, put this, even bite the corner of the 4-foot on the T line. If they chase around the corner, they're still not shot. You still got a chance to get the deuce set up, and there's never going to be a center guard.
Right. But they're going to chase. Then what do you play next? Because I think they come around the corner guard anyway.
Yeah. What you're worried about is if they come around the corner and cut off your other 2, you're still looking at getting forced. If this is in the 4-foot, just biting a sliver of the 4-foot, anything around the corner is never a factor to score.
Well, I know, but it's like their first shot is around the corner to make sure that you only sit one. You don't have to be shot.
I think your next shot needs to be a center guard, and they're still not going to call it.
I don't disagree with you. I think a center guard is a really good shot.
Yeah, I think you're in all kinds of trouble here. You need a guard.
Yeah. Well, one thing is, though, if you make this shot, you're going to be second shot. They're going to chase you around this corner, are they not?
Yeah, but with Last Rock, you're happy to chase around the corner. The team without Last Rock should not be thrilled about playing this.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not a great. It didn't even maybe occur to them to throw the center guard here.
See, you throw the center guard now, and yes, this is the 5th, so you could start peeling guards. But now you got 2 red ones that.
Yeah, it's tough.
You got jams. You got jams on both sides, right?
Yep. This has got to be second shot. This absolutely has to be second shot.
Well, and even if it is, all you've done is eliminate 1 rock, and you didn't even do that.
I don't. Is he ever going to throw a 3/4 rock missile and try to make the double?
No.
I don't mean Korey. I mean
I know what you mean, but I don't think so.
Well, I think they're going to be struggling for any other shots on this. I mean, I guess you throw a center guard now. You got 3 rocks. They got to make a couple of peels around a bunch of mess. At least you put some rocks in play that are kind of messy.
Yeah. The thing about the center, it's another one of those ones that we've said it with a few other shots already. If you're going to play them, you have to play them early in the end, because
run out of.
It's so many of us we're used to coming up on 4-player game where you've got 8 rocks in an end. Here, where you only get to throw 5, and there's only 6 per color in play at all. You're still early in the end because you haven't thrown that many, but you're also late in the end because there aren't that many left to come. You really have to make your decision early, because early comes late in doubles. That's not a good spot.
No, that's a really bad spot.
That's
you
one
can corner freeze
one
to that
corner
shot.
freeze away from getting out of the end. Yep.
Yep. Got to make this, but if they can get on this corner,
you're getting out of jail free.
You'll still be able to see it. You probably a piece of it. So you just kind of come down with a bit of weight and then dislodge it, and then they're still not out of jail yet, but they have a key. They have an uncut key. It's a big shot.
When this crosses center, it'll go sideways.
Yeah.
They're sweeping for curl. I don't think they need to.
I don't think they need to either. They changed their mind.
Yeah,
they listened to you.
Overcurled it.
They got a little bounce there, but it's not.
I think red's still sitting 2.
I do too. But it's not bad. Not a lot of good places to go if you're Corey here.
Back 4 on the center line.
Back 4 on the center line, just to say go for it. You can freeze on this, and I'll blast it, and I get my deuce.
You sit 3, and then that anything they can do on that corner is not going to really get them anything anyway.
Just want to make sure that this is definitely back 4 foot. Just trying to put this rock into a place that doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, just biting the back of the 4. Like you don't want it back button, because then just try to roll behind everything on that corner and still sit for shot. You want it back deep enough that if they hit and roll off of it behind everything on the corner, it's too far back. That picked. That just picked.
Like it's going sideways.
Yeah, no, you could see it.
Yeah.
See if we can get a replay on that. But that took a hard move. Take one more look at this now. You watch. You'll see it take a hard move.
Right there. Yeah. Just
right there. That's a pick. Yeah. That was a pick.
Yeah. That's a pick. Look at it. It's almost stopped curling. It almost stopped curling for a second there. All right. So do you just come down here and
well, there's options now. Like it didn't end up far enough back. You could hit and roll off that, get shot rock, although you're playing with not a lot of ice. I don't mind the hit on the other side right now, because you're still going to have that rock at the back of the 4 foot for the next one.
I'm wondering, do you ever come down and try to out-turn tap on your own and roll in front of that one?
The out-turn tap on your own you're still never getting second shot out of the tap. So no would be my answer to that. Like if you could sit second and third off of it, like I get what you're looking at. If you could sit second and third, that's better, because it eliminates that rock on the other side, but you're not going to get second and third. You might be able to get second off of it. I don't mind this. There's a couple of good places to roll with this. You roll right into the other red, or if it stops in front of the one that was just thrown, that's not bad either, because there's still a problem of how do you get it out.
Yep.
The weight that Corey had was good. Like if you put that splitting the center line where he is,
it's perfect.
It's in a pretty good spot. But after it took that pick, it ends up way too far over. There is room to make the hit on that, flop in behind that corner and be shot rock. And you don't have to play it yet. You could do something with this one on the other side. And there's a couple of options off this one yet.
You could be sitting second and third after this.
Boy, you don't want to hit it thin. Well, if you're going to hit it thin, you got to make the double. Actually made a triple, not the one that he maybe necessarily would have liked. So here's the scary thing now. Take one more look at this. So he gets the hit. It's thin. Comes across, gets the back one, and then you'll see it spin up and take the third one out of the side. But now that shot you were looking at, because you can still see half of the yellow. So where do you put the next one? Because he could come off that yellow. You got to be careful where you're splitting the house here, right? But you got to be careful where you put it, because he can come off the yellow and maybe make a double on the reds, right?
Yeah.
So you can't
if
be
you're
deep
T-line,
here.
if you're T-line, you got to. There's a chance at that.
Yeah.
Because you can hit half a rock. It's tight, but you can hit.
If you're up too high, they've got the same shot again to try to come into the red. You got to be. This is hard to place this where you're not going to leave one double or the other.
Yeah.
Because if you're dead even with the other red, so that doesn't leave the off the red double. But now that yellow is so much higher, you can come off the yellow into the one that's being thrown here. It's real tough not to leave a double attempt here. It's still got to be made.
Did you ever guard it?
No. Because then you're one corner freeze away from being forced for sure. If he makes the double, you're forced, but it's going to be an open shot.
Well, let's see what we're going to leave here. Looks like we're going to leave we are going to leave the
it's the double off the yellow. Yep.
Yep.
Got to play it, don't you? You can't think about just playing the shot stone.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to drop two. Like you hit what you can see, maybe a bit more. You get a little bit of curl after the guard.
Well, yeah, and it moves so much to the corner. You really, even with some weight, you don't really have to flirt with the guard too hard, I don't think. Like I could see it if you were worried, well, the only way we make the shot is if we flirt with the guard. Maybe you hit the open one and give up two, but I don't think you have to be that tight to the guard to make the shot.
Yeah. You need half a rock.
Half a rock at the most. Half might be thick.
Maybe a thin, like just a bit less than half a rock.
A sliver less than half.
Yeah. What the kids are calling a thin half. Up there, maybe just a tiny bit more.
Well, yeah,
but that's pretty close.
She's looking at a third, which is probably on the thin side of it, but it might still get to the back end of that second red.
Yeah. I think a third is probably just a bit too thin, but it's close. And she can see a third. So it's got to play it.
Well, that guard is so long, it's not even in the overhead shot. Like she's got tons of room after the guard to finish.
Right. It's decently high guard.
It's never jamming at the back. Lots of room to clear that yellow. The only thing about it, I just haven't seen this team enough to know how hard. I know Yamaguchi can throw some weight. This is a lot of ice. Like you're coming across 5 feet, and you still have to nudge that stone at least 2. So you got to throw. You got to throw decent weight here. You're looking at least a 9, I think. I don't think you want to throw 10. I'm not sure you move it far enough.
Big smile on her face, giving it a whirl. She throws a lot of rotation, which is going to help have it jump off the rock and have it go sideways. Here we go. Last rock of the 7th end, not the 8th end. Last rock for Ueno. Got it moving a little bit out.
Yeah.
Trying to make it curl. Not gonna.
And hit it thin enough to drag it. It's a draw for 3 now.
It's a draw for 3. That could be the ball game. 4 is possible. It's on the outside edges of possibilities, though. Last rock here in the 7th end, not the last end. For Thiesse, just try to hit the 8-foot here, Sean.
Yeah. Unfortunate for me. Just like you said, a little in out on the release, and hit that first one actually thin enough that she got drag on the second red stone into the rock at the back.
Yeah, and jammed.
Like she hits that closer to where she was trying it. It's not dragging.
No, it doesn't drag. Big shot here because like anyone who does math, up 4 is way better than up 3. Well,
especially in a game where 3s have been so common.
Yeah,
you
3s for
feel
fun
like,
here.
Oh, you get you're only up 3. You're thinking, oh well, we're gonna have to play an extra end, but up 4, that's different.
I haven't seen a 4 yet. Seen a lot of 3s. Corey's on it. Doesn't look like he hates it. Well, maybe I changed my mind. Got to get it to the top 4. Got to get it to the full 8. I mean, full 8. Got to get it to the full 8. Nope.
I would have bet big money she'd have made that. She's
Yeah.
been money on her draws all weekend long and all day long. And that's been the draw they've been throwing, and it comes up short.
We are playing the last end here coming up after these messages.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos.
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
I think that's more of a coin flip.
All right, we're back here. Now we're back here for that final end, Sean, in this
maybe not.
Mixed Doubles Classic. Well, it's the 8th end.
It's the 8th. It may not be the final.
It might not be the final. We've seen a lot of 3s today, so there's a solid chance that a field goal ties it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that wasn't short too. I mean, she shot Roxy's dead buried at the top of the button, but that might have been one where you wanted to make sure you're to the back one to just make it tough to ever bring it back onto the scoreboard.
Now you corner freeze on this, and it goes past the back.
And there's
one.
a way to clear that back one. Yeah.
Yeah. They sort of indicated that they're going to play this with a bit of weight and try to move it, which again, fine. You can play it either way.
As long as you stay a good piece in behind cover here, that's the key.
We're debating whether or not it's the weight is starting to tighten up a little bit. Get it just a little bit heavier in these later ends. I'm not sure that that's what they wanted.
No, they would have liked to keep it on a bit of an angle, I think. Mind you, for now, the key is it's hard to get rid of the yellow because the guard's in the way, right? And you can't play the run yet.
Just stay buried.
This is still only the 5th stone, so he can't remove anything from play yet on this one.
Yeah.
I think if this was if he could, this is where you'd see Korey play the run back, because the way they're lined up, the yellows could both go.
Oh yeah, it would be glorious. Those rocks would have glorious purpose if they started moving. He's trying to corner freeze on the top one here.
Yeah, I thought he might come from the other side, actually, just because the 2 at the back, to me, it looks like if you could get the red-yellow angle from the other side, clip the red on the way by, both yellows.
Yeah, that would be nicer, right?
You could still make that angle from this turn.
I think at this point, he just wants to kind of sit in front of it. Don't really want this to curl to the nose. It wouldn't kill you, but I don't think that's what they want. And that's what they got. Not a lot of great places to put a rock.
Intern freeze to the back red is where I'm looking at.
Yeah, I was looking at the same one, but the outturn freeze. But either one.
Well, I think it's easier to get the red by the yellow if you make it from the intern side.
I agree. I think I've already lost that back yellow as a.
Well, even then, you still need that red to spill out a little bit.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'm not sure I'm a big fan of being anything high because, and you saw Yamaguchi pointed at it. Like, I think Corey Dropkin's throwing a run on the next one. So if you're in front of, I don't want to be in front of any of the yellow rocks because that's just another one that he could look to run them all.
I think he's just playing like a hack weight hit here and roll over to like her left foot even. Like,
okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's an option. You got to roll far enough that you don't leave the double.
Right. Yeah. So, absolutely. Almost trying to kill the red.
I don't know if you're trying to kill it. If you're playing this, I think you're trying to leave the red where you've got an in off on the red, and then get your shooter out of the way.
Yeah, no, the way that they're playing it now. Oh, they lost it.
Yeah, that was just horribly managed on the way down.
Oh, that is unfortunate, right? That's an unforced error because that is a pretty close to the shot. I don't know that he runs this back anymore.
No, probably not now.
Big timeout. I mean, every cell in his body is same peel.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look great.
You could run it back. You could straight peel the guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you straight peel the guard, the nose hit on the red, it's killing at least one yellow, and slightly off nose on the red probably kills both of them. There's one already in the back corner.
Yeah, I think you just straight peel the guard.
I think leaving rocks around is just helping them. Yeah.
Do they have to? They can't put the guard up again because they don't have enough rocks to go. So then they have to play.
Oh, they can't throw a guard. Yeah, no, they've got to play something.
So then they have to play like a tappy thing, like to just change the angles, and then you just have a blast. You get one good blast.
They'd have to
peel this guard, and you have a chance at just throwing it really hard at a bunch of their rocks. I don't see how that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So they are peeling the guard.
I mean, it's not horrible to try to run it straight back either, except you want to make sure if you don't make contact that you roll off.
Yeah. I think the horrible thing would be resulting in your rock still sitting there. This they peel.
He's trying to bring it back. He's not throwing it huge.
Oh, he is. No, he's just straight peel.
That is fine. Now I think, like you said, you got to play red onto yellow, tap it back, and you got to break those two up a little bit.
Yeah, you need to change the angles here so that everything stays in play.
Yeah,
but the angles are different. That's what you're hoping for.
because you just can't leave them in one of those angles where they can smash, and there's a yellow that goes away for sure and a red that stays in the button. Like, that's just not a good combination for Ueno and Yamaguchi to try to score 3.
So you want to tap this in a way that gets that back yellow one, the one that's back 4 foot, to the back 12 foot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just hope that, like, are they looking at, I mean, I think what he's talking about is like the shot that I thought he was playing last time, but he wasn't, which is like hack weight and just get it out of the way and roll way over.
Yeah, I don't even know if you need to be hack on this, but it's because I think you're trying to tap red onto yellow, but you're doing it in the angle, a bit of an angle.
I agree. I think what you want to play is like a heavy draw that just moves everything around. But he is not.
Yes, but keep in mind when you're trying to move everything around, there's 4 of them, and to move the 4th one, you're not doing that with backline weight.
No.
By the time you move 4 rocks, you need more weight out of your hand.
Yeah, I still think like hack is probably the right way. So we'll see.
Looking for, I think, about 3/4 on the red, onto the yellow, have it come back, and then just on a slight angle on the red.
Yeah.
Tap that back yellow, like you said, back to the 12 foot. And then you want to leave the yellow red frozen on a bit of an angle to go past it. He's close.
I don't think he has the weight for it, but I think he's close. It's not awful. No obvious doubles.
Well, I think it drags enough that nose hit on the red, you clip the second yellow, and if it drags on the back red at all, it's going to the back yellow for sure.
Yeah, I just needed that to be a little bit heavier. If you take that yellow rock and put it in the top 12 and the back 12 foot, it's perfect.
Yeah, the angle's pretty
really close. Really close to a great shot. And unfortunately, I think you're right. There's 2 yellows that are gone here. And that is pretty much it, because with no guards. This is going to be moving, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. Half a rock to a nose. The top yellow goes for sure, and I think it drags.
I think a nose hit is pretty good here.
Even half and slash it into it. Yeah, you've got a lot of leeway where you can hit this.
I think that's good. Yipper. There you go. I don't even think it matters the freeze, but play the freeze. Here we go. This gets out of there in a hurry.
Yeah.
That always goes. Good to get rid of the rocks too. They don't need rocks if you're.
No, anything that could be jammed on is a problem. So.
Do you ever just freeze to your own on an angle that it dead? Yeah, right there. Like I think that's what your only hope, right? Like it's not good, but that's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind you're down to it's Corey.
It's desperate times
throwing
desperate measures.
Yeah, and it's Thiesse throwing the last one, not Dropkin. She doesn't throw the same weight as he does. So
yeah,
if you're 3/4 frozen on the top one, it's the top one she's got to get blasted all the way out.
Yeah. Just have to make a perfect corner freeze on your own here. Don't love it.
Well,
come around it.
The line's not going to be bad. It's just too much weight, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outturn peel the top one or outturn peel the back one?
Thrower's choice, really. I know. I'm not even sure she could over curl enough to jam the red one.
No, I don't think she ever jams on either one. So like you just.
Well, because if you curled far enough to jam the red one, I think you might be on the top one already. Like to jam it enough to stay, right?
Yeah. So I think we got here an outturn peel to just make a rock go away and head to the finals here in this semifinal of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. Here we go. It's always awesome when all you have to do is make the rock go away, Sean. It's the favorite sentence in curling. Make this go away and we win. pretty good.
Doesn't have a big piece, but I think she's got a piece.
It doesn't need to get a big piece, just a piece. And that's appeal, and that is your ball game. Thiesse and Dropkin head to the finals this afternoon, Mountain Time. And overall thoughts of the game, Sean?